All right, mate, how you doing? Welcome back to another video. I'm coming at you straight after England-USA at the World Cup. We've just been watching it live on my Twitch channel, and we've drawn 0-0. There's a lot to unpack from this game. There's a lot I want to talk about. Definitely not the same scenario in terms of the mood I had after the Iran game, but this is what was happening as we watched the game live on Twitch.
Decent ball.
Oh my God! Jeepers creepers, he's got the American flag in his hair as well.
Christian?
I don't like how much you're getting in our box.
Oh!
Oh my God.
Yes!
Did he get a,
Oh,
he didn't get a hand
what
to
a
it, no?
strike.
Oh, Saundie!
Saundie
Daundie on the telly!
Oh, brother.
And Glenn!
I can't believe
That's
that.
unreal.
Saundie Daundie!
It just shows
Someone
Saundie.
screenshot that. I can't believe
Saundie!
it.
Wait, that means it's going to be a goal. It's going to be a
Come
goal.
on,
I
Saundie
can't believe-
Daundie!
Out of everyone they could have grabbed.
What are the
That was
chances?
crazy!
Wait, go get that on TikTok.
That
later.
was nuts!
Get that on TikTok. I'll put a
When
little
you see-
marker on
yeah,
that.
When you see your brother on screen,
Whoa.
I can't believe that.
Ball in.
Yes! Oh! Who was that?
No
It's
more
Harry.
set pieces.
And yes, that was probably the best moment of the game. Seeing Saundie Daundie, my brother, in the crowd. He might be my man of the match, to be honest, from an England perspective at least. But you can watch future watch-alongs for the rest of the World Cup and all the other live stuff we do by following me on Twitch. The link is in the description. Now, let's talk about that game. Okay, listen, a draw in its essence is not that bad after you win in the first game, okay? It's not that bad. It's the nature of the draw that I have a problem with here. We weren't aggressive. We weren't brave. We weren't pushing on their defenders and their goalkeeper, certainly not in the second half. It was like they'd been sent out there to play for a draw. It didn't make sense to me considering the opposition. I'm not disrespecting USA. I've got a lot of good things to say about them after tonight, but it looked like we were told a draw was enough. I know mathematically isn't quite, but it almost certainly is. Like, as a result of having 4 points now, as long as we don't lose the final game by 4 goals or more, we will go through. We want to be winning this group, mostly, don't we? And we want to be winning it in style. And that's the way we looked set up after the Iran game, but it seems to have just, I don't know, that game's been just killed by momentum a little bit. It's just made me concerned. That sort of performance is maybe the sort of performance you want to see if you feel like you're the inferior side. And that could happen in this World Cup. That could happen in a quarterfinal or a semi-final if we're lucky enough to get there and we play a France or a Brazil in the final. We might have to play like that. And I don't know if that's Southgate trying to get ready for that. You know, I'm a Southgate fan. I'm not going to make a big witch hunt over him after just a 0-0 with USA. But let's be honest, they were better than us. They were better than us going forward. They had more shots. They looked more up for it. They looked like they were playing for their position in this World Cup more than we were. And there's a load of things that weren't right for me. In the second half particularly, Harry Kane was playing really deep. There was that one moment we did that great pass to Rashford, and it was very much like the sort of set-up play you often see him do at Spurs for Sonny going forward, right? But he has Sonny. When he played it to Rashford, Rashford was on his own. He needs to be the focal point. If he's going to drop deep and do that, then get Mason Mount off, let Harry Kane play in that position, and throw Callum Wilson on there. Or better yet, throw Phil Foden on there and let Rashford play through the middle and use his pace down the middle. We were so happy to draw. That's what it felt like. Only when we got the subs of Rashford and Grealish on, Jordan, Henderson, did it look like we actually might try and win this thing. But I think we've really got to look at Harry Kane there, because I don't know if he's following instruction or he was just tired. There's a lot of talk about him being overworked from Spurs. He started every game for them this season, and that might have been a good chance when it was 0-0 and there was 30 minutes left to get him off, because I don't think he was impacting the game for us, certainly not in an offensive way. He was doing some good defensive things, but I think if we wanted to win the game, we could have got someone with a bit more dynamism and a bit more attacking threat on. Obviously, normally, Harry Kane has attacking threat and dynamism, but he didn't tonight, certainly not as the game went on. And in fact, I'm having to think now about how many shots I've seen him hit this tournament. There was one tonight in the first half, which was blocked. It was only it's really our best chance all night, actually. They, of course, hit the bar with McKennie, who looked quite lively for them before he got subbed off. I don't remember too many shots from him in the first game. And there's another header tonight as well from Kane, I think. But other people are troubling the opposition goalies more than Harry Kane. He's looking like he's turning provider more for this tournament, or at least trying to. And a word to the USA performance. I think it was really impressive. I think first half particularly, much like in the game against Wales, they were better in the first half, but they started the second half well as well. They came for us. They got a lot of set pieces and corners and a lot of crosses into the box. Luckily for us, we had this man. Okay, this is the only man for me that can leave really happy with that performance from an England standpoint. He was immense. He headed everything. He tried to get us going up the pitch as well. I mean, if that doesn't convert some Harry Maguire haters, I don't know what will. That was great from him. But unfortunately, there wasn't many other players on the pitch for England that can say the same. I don't think anyone was particularly bad, but there was a lot of lacklustre performances, and I'd love to know how they were set up to play. I'd love to know if Southgate is annoyed because they didn't do what he told them to, or is annoyed because he got it wrong tactically, because that was not a brave enough performance for a team that supposedly have a chance of winning this World Cup. I'm not annoyed with the team selection. I don't think Southgate got it wrong. I think it makes perfect sense to leave it the same after the Iran performance. But I'm a little bit frustrated with the substitutions, when they happened and who they were. I'm not exactly sure why Phil Foden hasn't been involved again. Maybe it will come out in the wash now. We're talking straight after the game here. But has he got an injury still of some sort? I do think, though, that into this next game, we will and probably should see some changes to the starting 11, if not at least to just rest some legs. There is a slight permutation chance that, again, like Russia 2018, winning the group could be worse for us. Because Netherlands and Ecuador drew today, and then Valencia, by the way, ex-West Ham, scored again. He's currently top goal scorer in this World Cup as I record this. But because they drew again, essentially, whatever happens in their two teams' last match decides who wins the group when they're playing different teams, of course. Netherlands have got Qatar, so they could score a lot there, and they could probably win the group. But if Ecuador better their results somehow when they play Senegal, they could win the group, meaning to actually win the group might set up a match with the Netherlands. So there is a world where we don't want to win this group if we prefer to avoid Netherlands and prefer to play Ecuador. However, that would see us on the side of the draw that could involve us playing an Argentina or a Brazil at some point. However, if we go the other route of winning the group, we can't play any of them till the final. Having said that, are we that worried about Argentina? Are they even going to get out of the group? It's Brazil, for me, the most convincing so far, along with probably Spain and France in second. We were up there as well until tonight. We've now dropped to the next tier of teams as far as I'm concerned, but we're only one of a few teams that have played 2 games. So I would not be surprised, because we only go out of the tournament if we concede or if we lose by 4 or more goals. I would not be surprised to see Callum Wilson start the next game, or certainly someone else in favour of Kane. Whether it's Rashford through the middle, I don't know, but I would not be surprised to see that. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think Kane could use that rest. I think whoever we bring in, there's no reason why they shouldn't have enough to do damage to Wales. There's no doubt on the quality of our players. It's the way they're playing, the way they've been sent out to play, that's going to determine for me whether they win the game or not. And let's face it, we should beat Wales. Wales have got the tiniest thread of hope of getting out of this group. Even in the interviews after the game today when they lost to Iran, they felt dejected. They sounded beaten, like they'd already been knocked out. So we really should go and take that game by the scruff of its neck. And I guess one positive from today, let's be honest, I'm talking like we've lost. We haven't lost. We could have lost. If they hit the bar, they had better chances. But we've drawn a game. We've actually kept a clean sheet for the first time in a while, which isn't a bad thing. And I think the defence did okay. But going forward, it was poor. But one silver lining might be the fact that we now have to go and play against Wales. Even though a draw would get us through, and in fact losing 3-0 would get us through, we don't want to risk finishing second unless there's a tactical reason, as I was mentioning earlier, where second could be better. So because of that, at least we should go out a bit more attacking against Wales. And who would I like to see come in? Well, I would like to see some changes, to be honest. I'd love to find out more about Kyle Walker's fitness. If he's ready to get minutes, I would like to see him get minutes in this third game. I think Luke Shaw in the first half was being caused a lot of problems. A lot of USA's crosses were coming from the right. And I feel like there's a danger he might get complacent if he thinks that left-back slot is his whatever happens, because there's no one else to play there. So is there a world where we could try Trippier at left-back and Kyle Walker at right-back? If Kyle Walker's not ready, could we bring Ben White into the mix? I think he deserves a shout. Are we going to see the likes of Calvin Phillips at any point? Jude Bellingham got subbed off today, and I think that's not necessarily a bad thing for him. He's young. He's going to have games like that. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch, but letting him know that spot's not guaranteed his just because he's exceptionally talented footballer and he had a great game against Iran. I think that could maybe change. Maybe, who knows, Declan Rice could come out. But for me, the big one would be getting Kane in. If Kyle Walker's ready, getting him in. I wouldn't be necessarily surprised if he tried a different goalkeeper out. Depends how much he wants to mix it up. Not that Pickford needs to come out. And then maybe some more of the attacking boys. Has Grealish done enough off the bench to warrant a start? He scored against Iran. He looked lively tonight. Could he come in for Sterling? What's happening with Foden? I wouldn't mind seeing Foden come in for Mount in that position, or for Saka out on the right, who I think has been good, one of our better players, Saka, but just to rotate and rest people. Likewise, Rashford has looked okay. So I would actually like to see quite a few changes, and I think we can deal with it. It's not like when we rested against Belgium, the toughest opponent of our group stage in Russia, and then we lost as a result. They also rested, to be fair. This is a game where we can rest and still be the favourites, I think. Anyway, a lot to unpack. It wasn't the same result, obviously, but the same mood at the end of the Iran game for me. I feel a little bit dejected, and I feel like we're less less favourable going forward. I still believe it's coming home, of course. I'm always going to believe it's coming home until it doesn't come home. But I need to see something more. I need to see more aggression and more attacking impetus in that third game. And listen, I'm not saying I'm converting by any means, although if you watch the latest video of my baseball journey on my Spencer Owen channel, you might think I'd converted to being American. Here's a clip.
Oh, howdy. My name's Spren Doggy Dog. I like corn dogs, July the 4th, and the Constitution of the United States.
You can see that episode and the first episode. Both of them are out on my Spencer Owen channel. That's my second channel. There's a link to the episode in the description. Lewis Preston has done a fantastic job editing them. There's 2 more to come as well. So make sure you subscribe to Spencer Owen to see the rest of the baseball adventure. It's an unbelievable experience I've been on learning to play baseball, believe it or not. Make sure you follow my Twitch channel as well. That link's in the description so you can watch further watch-alongs throughout the World Cup. Drop a like on this video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments below who is in your starting 11 for England versus Wales. And of course, please let me know if it's coming home. I need to know. Until next time, don't go changing.